Have you ever examined the different types of content that you consume on a daily basis? Or better yet, have you examined the different type of content that you watch during a specific season of your life? Maybe it's a season where you are trying to accomplish specific goals, or maybe it's a season where you are just trying to gain some type of clarity about a decision that you need to make, or you're trying to, I guess, determine what you want your life to be. I don't know. Whatever it could be, whatever it is, I think that it all can relate to what I'm going to explain, because that's what happened to me. So, for me, how should I put this? For me, I have been on a journey of doing internal work, specifically identity work, for the past 3 years. Next month will make 3 years. And looking back on my journey and also reflecting where I am today, I am not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. And when I think about my past, my journey, and where I am today, I found a common theme with with how I was navigating the season that I was in. And what I discovered is that I was consuming all different types of content, and I'll share with you the different types of content that I kind of categorized. But as I'm on this journey, I'm continuing. I have not arrived, and I don't even know if there's such a thing as arrived. But I have some goals and I have some achievements that I'm still working through and working towards. And there are moments where I still feel stuck, or that I'm not moving or progressing as I like to. And the other day I sat with it and I said, you know what? What am I consuming? What am I watching? And it's not necessarily just about consuming and watching. It's also about, even if you are in proximity to certain groups or communities, those are things that you should also classify and include and examine. For me, I realized that there are different seasons for different types of content. And I never thought about it that way. I never looked at it in a way where certain content can help you in specific or different points of your journey. And when I sat down and I was thinking about the different types of content or communities that I am involved in or that I consume on a daily basis, I came up with my own, I guess, category for those contents and communities. So I wanted to share them with you. And what I came up with is content that is considered the thinker, right? So it's content that points at things and lets you sit with them. So it doesn't tell you to go left or go right, or it doesn't give you the answers. It just hands you a thought and let you kind of think for yourself, right? And it allows you to form your own understanding. It's more like, okay, they put the idea out there and you're like, I never thought about it that way. But it's there for you to make of it as you please, right? And that gets you to spin your wheels. It gets you to kind of think. It gets you to go deeper, all of the things. And I love that because it helps your brain form different perspectives or think about things that you probably never would have thought about. And so it's just like planting that seed, but you have free will to figure out which way to go with it. It's no right or wrong, but it's what you believe, it's how you perceive things. So it's not necessarily telling you how to think, it's just giving you something to think about. And what that gave me was it opened up rooms inside of my mind But to me, depth is not motion, right? I could think for years and never move my feet. So when you are consuming content that gets you to think, um, sometimes it's just like opening up another sub file and another sub file and another sub file. And that's where you have to be very careful when you are in certain seasons of your life, because if you are someone who needs to execute, then consuming too much content that gets you to think without direction, or it allows you to think without an action behind it, you can spiral sometimes. And it might be good content or good, perspectives. But like I said, it will keep you planted in a way where you just feel like you're opening up different subfolders one after another. So be careful with that, but also understand that there's certain seasons for that, because it is useful. Sometimes you might have someone, or you might have content that pop up that you're like, you know what, wow, I never even heard of that. And yes, you can form your own perspective and think about it in a certain way that helps you make a decision. So, I just want to say, be careful with the thinking content, the content that always allows you to think. It grinds your mind, so be careful with that, but still understand that that is good content. And there is a season and a time for when that type of content is necessary. The next type of content is content that is teaching you. It's the trends, it's the how-tos, it's the do this, then that. It's the clear method for the things that you are trying to learn, right? The teaching content is good because, let's say for instance, you need to learn how to change your settings for your iPhone so that you can film, and you want a specific type of look and feel with your content, right? And so I feel like that content was useful when I really didn't know how to do something. Be careful with that content, because you can stay stuck in trying to learn the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and it just becomes this never-ending story. So just be careful with the teaching content. They're good, they're necessary, but be careful. There's a season and a time for that. So the third content that I want to talk about is the arrived content. So it's basically the expert that already made it. It's the content that displays the end result. It could be, say for instance, you want to lose weight, and you're watching content of someone who already went through the journey and already made it to the other side. Or say for instance, you have financial goals and you're watching someone who've already went through the process of clearing their debt, upping their credit score, and investing. And so they're already on the other side, right? So I call that the arrival content. And what they give is proof that what you are aiming towards or what you're moving towards is possible, and you have proof of where you're going and what it looks like when you get to that side, right? However, depending on the season that you're in, you might want to limit that type of content, because it can make you feel so far away from the goal, right? And it just feels so far away. It just feels like, oh gosh, it'll take me forever to get to that point. Or I don't know, you can get discouraged, right? If you keep consuming that type of content over and over and over. Now, for me, I like to see it every so often, because it's that reminder that, okay, this is where I'm headed. I cannot wait to get there. I'm excited. So that type of content does serve a good purpose. But I would say that I had to limit that type of content, because at times it could feel like it's so far away that it just is kind of discouraging sometimes, or it doesn't make me really feel good about the process because I feel like it's so far away. So that is another type of content that you need to be aware of depending on the season that you're in. So again, good content for sure, but depending on the season that you're in, you may want to audit how much of that you're consuming depending on the season that you're in. The fourth content is the in progress, right? So this is content of someone who has the same goals as you. Maybe they're doing the thing that you're doing. Again, let's say they're trying to lose 20 pounds and they're actually doing it in real time. They have not arrived. They're not teaching per se. They are not giving you deep perspectives about it. They're actually just documenting them moving their feet. They're documenting them doing the thing in real time. And so to me, I felt like this is really good content because it's showing you that you can do it. It's motivating you in a different way than someone or content that is already on the other side. So when you are watching someone start where you are, but they're just a little bit ahead of you, that can be a game changer to help you and motivate you to move as well. So this is the voice that got me to move my feet when I started YouTube. For my own personal story, watching someone actually just start, it was a game changer for me. It wasn't the content that had already started their YouTube channel years ago or 5 years ago. It was the content of someone actually starting maybe 5 months prior or 6 months prior. And to me, that felt a little bit more close in proximity for me to start. I have different examples of that, but I'll get into that in another video. But I just wanted you to understand that, the in progress content is real. And that can serve a good purpose for the season that you're in. If you're someone who needs to just start, find someone who's starting with you, right? Find someone who just started and they're documenting that, because that can help you. So for me, watching someone just slightly ahead crossover is what turned my someday into today. So that's something that I want to leave you with the in progress content. So the fifth content is the one that is positioned to be more like they're walking beside you. And so sometimes this might not always be content. This can be more like an accountability partner. It could be more like a therapist. It could just be someone that's next to you, guiding you through the process. There's someone who, like I said, for an accountability partner, they're doing the same thing. So you are literally arm in arm with someone going through it together. So if you're scared, guess what? They're probably scared too, but you're doing it together. You're not doing it alone. And for the therapist, they are someone like, say for instance, you are scared. They're helping you kind of go a little bit deeper to figure out, okay, what are you scared of? Let's unpack it so that you can actually do it. So they're walking with you. For me, I have a therapist, and before I showed up on YouTube, I'm like, I'm scared to be seen. I don't want to be seen. And we unpacked it. And after I got off that call with her, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing it, And then I had a call with her 2 weeks later, and I was like, guess what? I did it, So that is someone who can walk beside you, as well as accountability partner. Because again, shout out to my accountability partner, Keisha, who's also my friend. We were doing this YouTube thing together, and we locked arms and we did it together. So yeah, we're almost 30 days in, and we have so many more things that we want to accomplish together. So yeah, find someone who can walk beside you, who's doing the thing, or who can help you go a little bit deeper and unlock what's keeping you stuck, which to me is like a therapist. And the last one is considered the community, right? And this one is not like consuming content. This is more about what communities are you in, right? What proximity are you surrounding yourself with? And it's not just the person that's teaching you, but a whole room of people. It could be whatever it is, but they're also having discussions with you. They're also just, it depends on what the community is for. So I feel like community is really good because you can have real discussions, you can talk things through in real time. um you get a lot of support with those communities. So I would say also check the communities, because there's different types of community. There's communities that will do a lot of talking to help you start, and then communities that can help you take action. So I think that there's two different types of communities that you want to make sure and check that it's right for the season that you're in. So I have a lot more that I can go into with these 6 different examples, but for now I just wanted to do a video pointing those out, because when and I'm still using these, 6 different things to audit where I am in real time. So yeah, being intentional about where I surround myself and what I'm watching and consuming is a game changer for me. So I hope this video helped. I just really wanted to show what I've learned in my process, because I am someone who have not arrived yet. I am someone who is still going through the journey. And I'm just someone who likes to reflect on what's working and what's not working. And when I was sitting here thinking the other day, I'm like, you know what am I consuming, and what is helping and what is not. And I do want to say that these 6 different categories, they're not bad. I just noticed that for me, there is a season for specific type of content if you're going to consume content. And when I look back on when I was stuck, I think it had to do with the type of content that I was consuming. So yeah, now I'm very intentional. I am like, okay, what type of content do I need in this season that I'm in? And right now, if I'm being honest, I need the content of someone that's in progress. And I am also in the season of needing the one that's beside me. So I am working with a therapist. I do have an accountability partner. And I am in different communities. And so I needed that. I don't think that I am in this season right now to consume content that is already where I want to be. I already know that that's possible. I already consumed enough content for me to believe that it is possible for me. I don't need any more how-tos, what to do, how to do this, how to do that. I don't need that right now in this season. And I don't need deep thinking. I don't need to, go deeper with my thinking. That's just not where I am right now. But what I will say is that even though I don't need that specific type of content now, it helped me to get where I am. And once I get to another season of my life, I will circle back to that type of content. And it doesn't mean that I'm not watching that type of content now. It's just that I have to minimize it. I have to take it in moderation. And I can definitely say that once I made that change, things changed in my life. I'm starting to see that I'm getting some type of momentum. I am making progress. I am seeing where I am just putting one foot in front of the other. So I think that ever since I kind of came up with this, and I've always thought about it, but I never took the time to actually sketch it out the way that I just recently did. But it all makes sense now. And so I wanted to share that with you all. And again, I am on this journey. Next month will be 3 years since I decided to do inner work. And when I say inner work, I'm talking about identity work, self-reflecting, self-discovery, healing. And I look forward to creating more content about my journey. And it's more like I'm going through a transformation in real time, and I'm doing this out loud. I'm gonna do this on video, on camera. And so again, this is not content where I've arrived. It's content of me actually exploring what's working, what's not, implementing new things, just honestly discovering things right on the fly, just like I'm doing now. And I want to bring this to you guys and share it in hopes that it will help someone else. So I think that's all that I have for today. But if you resonate with anything, if you are in a season where you feel stuck, I want to challenge you to think about what type of content you're consuming. And I say that because we watch so much content. We're always online and we might be in different communities. And so, yeah, just kind of think about what you're consuming daily and who you're around, and see if you need to switch something up for right now. But again, I want to say that none of these different types of content or communities are wrong, but there's a season to where these content can be more of a help to you, and you might have to take them in moderation, put more emphasis into content with people that are doing it in progress versus someone that is teaching you to do the thing. You might not need more teaching. You might just need to take action. That's what I realized for myself. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, and hopefully, this helped. If so, let me know in the comments what season you might be in. Are you someone that's consuming a lot of content that's getting you to think, but not really moving you to do something? It's just getting you to think. And that is so comfortable. I can get so consumed and wrapped up in think content, So are you someone that's consuming a lot of that? Are you someone that's consuming content that's teaching you a lot? Are you consuming content of watching people who's already on the other side? They're already at the destination that you want to go? Is that a possibility? Are you watching enough content where someone is actually doing the thing? They're just a few steps ahead of you, but they're actually in motion. They're doing it. They haven't arrived. They're not teaching. They're just documenting it. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. But yeah, are you consuming content that's motivating you to take action? Do you have an accountability partner? Are you working with someone like a therapist or someone that can guide you? Or are you in different types of communities that is helping you along the way? But I like to know what season you're in and what type of content are you consuming, or what content has been best for you in this season that you're in. So yeah, I guess I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.